Hi everyone, it's Niamh here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be making an interactive element in your journal using a big butterfly as an inspiration. So I'm starting off with an old gel print I had. This is just done on some baking paper. It's a really cheap alternative to deli paper, so just go to your local Coles or Woolies. I think you can buy a roll of baking wax paper for like $3 and saves you a whole heap of money. Get 50 meters of it. Works really well on a gel plate. So I was just doing some additional mark making in the background. On the left hand side you can see the little bit of my inspiration from the Artist Almanac, and it had 1/2 of a butterfly on it. So I thought I would do my page and I would do both sides of the butterfly and try and make that up. So I'm starting off with a little bit of gesso, pouring on some of my gloss sprays, and I've made a deliberate choice to not gesso the entire page. So you can see the different shades of where the gloss spray has gone onto the gesso. You've got the true colour, and then when it's seeped into the underneath layer as well, it gets a bit darker and richer. Then I'm going in with some paints to create this sort of warm, crazy looking background, and then glazing over the top with a little bit of the hot pink as well. So I really like using neons in the final layers just to add a bit of pop of colour really. Then I'm going into the wet paint with my Stabilo oil pencil and doing some really scribbly writing, some mark making. So that's shifting the paint underneath as it goes, which is a really handy thing to have. It also, when you put it into the wet paint, the Stabilo oil pencil into the wet paint, it activates it again, so you get those sort of like really dark bits. With the edges where I'd done that little bit of mark making with ink, I'm just going in and gluing this on the page. Now you do need to be aware, and you can see what's happening on my page, but where I'm going over the Stabilo oil pencil with my gel medium, it's reactivating it, so it's gone a bit grey. That doesn't bother me, but if it does bother you, you might want to use like a paint pen or something like that, so you're not going to move the layers too much. But I want this to look really grungy and messy and busy in the background. And then going in with some stencils and popping in some colour. So it's just about making all these layers, adding in that little bit of printed paper, the gel prints, and then doing some stenciling over top. Then I'm going in with my gloss spray with the dropper and putting in some marks as well. So I find the dropper is a really fun way to draw and make really random marks on your page, because I find it difficult to control. I'm sure some other people can do a much better job than me, but I struggle with it somewhat. I did want to put a little bit of green in the background as well, just to sort of balance up the colour somewhat. Now with that ink as is, it was quite wet, so I want to leave it to dry. So now I'm going to go on to doing my butterfly, and I wanted to do it in the deli paper, one because it already had patterns on it, made it really easy, but two because it was light and it was easy to manipulate as well. So I'm just cutting out a rough butterfly shape. It's not the best butterfly, I have to say, but it'll do, it'll work. So I had my base that I could work on. Then I decided I was going to go over with my thick pencils and create my sort of patterns in the wings. So these are the Stabilo Woodies, which are basically the kid version of the Stabilo oil pencils. They are really chunky, work exactly the same way. You can smudge them out with your fingers, you can wet them. It does advertise on the packet when you get them that you can write on glass with them, so you can have your kids drawing on glass and then rub it out. To be honest, I've never let my kids have them, so they went straight into my stash, not theirs. yeah, so I really love them because you get lovely chunky colours, and you can do what I'm doing now and blend the colours really easily. If you struggle to blend them, just heat it up a little bit. They're really waxy and creamy, so they can blend out really nicely. I'm just layering over the colours. While on the video it sort of looks like I've lost the background, you can still see through. You can still see those patterns from below. So I really like that. It's not that I don't like working on white pages, but I do like pattern and interest, and if I can have that from having something pre-printed on my page, I really enjoy that. So this is the piece that my butterfly is going to go on to. As you can see, I'm still really patiently waiting for that ink to dry, and because it's me, I don't wait patiently, so I just, keep adding stuff. Because why wouldn't you? You've already got enough on the page. Why wouldn't you go back and add more in a different colour? It's just me. So there you go. Now I'm going to glue down my pages. So I'm actually only going to glue nearest the spine of the book. I want to have the wings of the butterfly to flap free, so you can actually see the patterns underneath as well. Then I'm going in with my Posca paint pen to do sort of some of the fine detail work. Splattering over with some inks, getting ink everywhere because it's me. Getting some white ink in there too. You should see the state of my iPad behind it. It's delightful. And then drying everything off. You'll notice when I'm using the heat gun that the pencil that I used has gone really shiny. That means it's reactivated and it's melted basically. So once it dries, it will dry again. It's not an issue and it doesn't transfer, but you just need to be aware. If I'd heated that up and then closed my book straight away, it could have smudged. So just be careful with that. I wasn't going to add anything onto this page, but then I decided I wanted to add a quote, and I thought I'd add it straight over the wings. Now, I was having a little bit of a trouble because obviously, as I explained before, that those pencils are quite waxy. So because I had just heat set the page, it was still a bit creamy and my pen was struggling just a little bit. But just put in like a first coat, and then you can, once you've got the acrylic paint down on the page, you can go back over and add another coat pretty easily because it's got that first coat there, which is a really handy thing to remember. So don't wait for your wings, fight for them, which I really loved. I love on the left hand corner, it looks like almost an eye. I don't know how I managed to get that there. So that's the finished page. Really, really simple and easy. And then just to finish it off, I'm taping my inspiration piece to the page so I can see where I got some of the ideas from. And that can quite easily flip underneath the wings as well, so it sort of blends into the background too. So you can see that on the next page to get the finished piece. So it's really fun using inspiration to help inspire you to continue making some really cool art pages. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye for now.